Hello, welcome YouTube fam. Welcome back to my channel, God's Divine Purpose. My name is Lakeisha Thompson, better known as Keisha. I did not want to come on today, but I had to come on and wish all the parents happy Autism Awareness Day. Yes, I am a mother of an autism child. He's 14. His name is David, and he is the life of the party. But I came to encourage someone that is battling or having a hard time dealing with autism, because I can remember when I first found out that my son was autistic, it was kind of hard for me to deal with. I mean, I would cry a lot, and I would always ask God, like, why do I have to be going through this? Why I have to deal with this on top of everything else that I had going on? But I had learned to cope with it because it was the new norm. I mean, I know there was a life-changing experience for us, and I was just felt like I was in this rut, like I was being punished. That's what I felt like, to be honest with you. Like I was feeling really punished. But God had to open my understanding and let me know that children are a gift from me. You know what I'm saying? They're your children, but they are a gift from me. I gave them to you. So with the gift that he has given me, he entrusted me with that soul. You know what I'm saying? That precious soul. And I try to raise them to the best ability I can with the guidance of God. You know, like with anything else, like we have computers, TVs, phones. When we don't understand what's going on with those equipments or devices, we go back to the manufacturer. So we go back to God and ask God, you know, how should I deal with this? How should I deal with that? And he will guide you along the way, because David had to go to like a different school. He has to have like certain seating arrangements, certain stuff to accommodate him to make him feel more comfortable, you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to be a mother of an autistic kid, because, you know, when we was coming up, or back in the day, like we could say our grandparents or our mothers and stuff like that, they just always just throwed it to the side, like, you know, maybe that's a cousin that's, you know, a little different, or he just always act that way, or this, because they didn't take like mental illness, or they didn't take we would call like disabilities. It was like a shame, or I felt like it was like something that we don't talk about. We are not going to touch that. It was just, but I'm not the type of mom that, you know, I want to know what is really going on with my child, you know, what's best interest for him, and, you know, how can I help improve his life. So the journey that we have had, it has its ups and downs, but I can say David is, like I said, the life of the party. I can remember one incident when I was battling with what was going on in school, because his grades was like always A's, B's, but he had a hard time getting along with people, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, maybe it's a little bit of his mom in him, or, well, you know, I just brushed it off like that. But teachers that are well more equipped in the area know the development of a child. You know, they was able to tell me, like, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, he's not doing that. But I would see a different side of David than the school would see, you know, because he didn't have to interact with that many people at home, you know. So, but I remember I took him to doctors. They kept, you know, diagnosing with this, diagnosing with that. And I remember David coming to me one particular day. He was like in the 3rd grade, and he was like, Mom, he's actually in the 9th now, to God be the glory. And he said, Mom, the medicine or what the symptoms and stuff that I'm having is normal. I'm not feeling right. It makes me feel funny. So I knew right then that that was a problem, you know, because God can speak in the mouth of a babe. So I went back to his doctor, and I told him, I said, whatever you're doing, whatever, you know, it's not working. So I remember his doctor gave us a card, and he didn't say anything about it. He was like, just go see this lady, you know, this, that, and the third. So in my mind, I'm thinking we going to like a doctor's office, you know, with the secretaries and the chairs, and you know how the doctor office all laid out. But actually we go to like a farm, like with horses, and, you know, they have dogs, and they have like chickens. But it was like a big old acres of farm. And I was like, what are we doing here? And David, I remember he specifically asked me, Mom, why are we here? And I said, I don't know, this is the doctor that the other doctor recommended, but I'll tell you one thing, son. When we get down here, we're going to tell this woman we're going to reschedule, and we're going back home. See, that was my intentions. But when we got down there, you know, the lady was just flagging us in, directing us, telling us to come. But she wasn't dressed like a doctor, like with the suit or the scrubs, or she wasn't dressed like, she just had on t-shirt, jeans, tennis shoes. So I was like, I know we in the wrong place. You know, I'm just in my sandals, my sundress, you know, a hot summer day, but beautiful day, just dressed for the weather. And I remember kicking the sand out of my shoes because I was frustrated. Like, I'm ready to get from down here, all in my mind. I'm contemplating, like, I need to tell this woman we're ready to go. We already scheduled. And I remember God specifically speaking to me and telling me, Keisha, sometimes you have to go in unfamiliar territory to get your blessing. So it shook me when he said that. So I knew I was in the right place. So that what made me stay or whatever. So long story short, me and David went in and she was just talking to us, and she was interacting with me and David both, but David just looking at the walls, looking at the pictures and stuff like that. Like he was really ignoring her, but he was actually listening with his ears. Just because his eyes wasn't on her, he was still listening to everything that she was saying. See, that's one thing about autism kids. So I remember her telling David to go out and feed the horses and pet the dogs, get familiar with the animals. And she asked me a question. I was sitting in the chair, and she asked me a question. She said, Mom, do you know what's going on with David? And I said, yeah, a friend of mine had told me that he may be, but I couldn't muster it up. I couldn't get it out because I guess God wanted to confirm what I already knew. And she said, David's autism, he has autism and he's Asperger's. He'd be high functioning, so he'd be able to live a normal life. I just bust out crying. Because I could not grasp all the information that she was telling me. Because when we don't have knowledge of something, we don't fully understand it. That was just my normal reaction. I just cried, and she was saying, there's nothing to worry about. He can interact with other kids. He have a normal life, this, then, the third. But my mind, I'm thinking like, why me? Why I have to go through this? Why this? Why that? I'm dealing with this, that, and the third. But lack of understanding, lack of knowledge had me thinking that way. But I had to change my perspective and say, Keisha, you know what? This is the new norm. You know what I'm saying? Embrace the hand that God has given you. You know what I'm saying? Some people are dealing a hand that are worse off than yours. You know what I'm saying? They'll be happy to have the hand that you're dealt. And I begin to thank God. You know what I'm saying? I said, God, thank you for me being ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for just being with me when I was rebellious and I didn't want to understand. I was just grumpy and grouchy. You know how we are with children or with their parents, just how we were when we were growing up. That's how I be with God sometimes, like hard-headed, don't want to listen, But God grace, you know what I'm saying? He grace. His patience is nothing like ours. So I thank God for that. But I was just so blown by that because I never had to deal with that personally, but David is doing good in school. He's coming into his own. I thought I would have to shelter him because as mothers, we are motherly. So we want to bear the cross of our children, but they have their own cross to bear. You know what I'm saying? I be there. I guide along the way. Sometimes I could be over guiding at times. I can't admit. But he coming to his own. Like when he says stuff, I'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, he don't want that anymore because autism kids had a certain structure. They like certain things, but I see his perspective is starting like certain foods. He want to try certain things, like going places he would like, but he don't like too much business, which is okay with me. But I tell you, autism kids are a blessing. They are a blessing. So if anyone's out there that are suffering with, dealing with autism or having a hard time coping with it, just send them a word of encouragement this month or any day that comes to your mind. Just tell them, keep up the good work. You're doing a good job. You're exceeding in this area. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you. Just any words of comfort to help someone that's going through that may be feeling down. So I've been there. I had a support system to help me, see past my insecurities, see past my when I thought I was inadequate or wasn't equipped enough to do it. But I had a support system that really, really pushed me and propelled me into being the best version of myself that I can be. And I thank God for that. But I pray that this word encourages y'all, the ones that are going through or dealing with somebody that has autism, whether what side of the spectrum they fall on. I pray that God strengthen you. I pray that God continue to build you and mold you, and because you're able to endure. You know what I'm saying? God don't give us no more than we can bear. So you can bear this cross. I thank God for each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. But I love you most of all. God loves you. Until next time, be blessed.